Hey, what's up guys, it's Jay. So recently I've been trying to optimize my everyday carry. For the longest time, I've been trying to look for the perfect sling bag that I could bring along with me and carry my travel camera, also my gaming devices like my Retro Pocket 5 that I have here. It's kind of the go-to for me right now because of its size and form factor. And then it can play pretty much everything up to PS2 and Wii. And so originally last year, I've been using this Day Sling 3 quite a bit, and it served me well. However, the video I made last year talking about the strap here is okay. Like basically had some issues with the strap. There's people that can, basically refuted my experience, which I find interesting. I'm just trying to, put some good information out there that other people have had voiced concerns about this type of locking mechanism here. And as you can see, it doesn't, it's really easy to kind of unlock itself. So for example, you can see that it is, if I slide it this way downwards, it's super easy to just remove it. Yes, it's really solid otherwise, right? You can tug it, do anything like that. But see, as soon as I move to this right location here, you can see that it just snaps right off. And it's quite thin as well. And it's a really smooth ejection, which for convenience sake, it is very nice. And I hadn't had issues with it up until that point where it dropped and it damaged my camera. And so people were, in comments were saying, hey, you're using the bag wrong or something like that. I own tons of bags. I've been using lots of slings for various companies, mostly from Aer actually. And so this was the first bag that I've been disappointed with. And, it shows because I have the Ultra here with me. I just ordered this one and it is quite a bit different in terms of the buckle. They changed the buckle, which to me, it tells me that, hey, they noticed this problem themselves and then they, adjusted it. Because for me, it's like, why would they switch buckles when this is a smaller one? And you'll see in a second that the other Fitlock buckle for the Ultra is actually a little bit longer and more sturdy though, which that's why I have it here. And we're gonna just unbox this. I'll give you guys my first impressions and kind of we'll compare this to the Day Sling 3 normal bag, the Cordura version. So we'll do that in a little bit, but let's go and take a look at this bag right now. But yeah, before we continue, make sure you guys are subscribed. It helps me make more videos like this, more content, more bags, more gaming stuff, all the tech stuff. And yeah, make sure you guys like this video. Without further ado, let's unbox this thing. So nowadays, Aer is doing this kind of like plastic bag, a little bit more efficient because previously it had like bigger bags. And I like this design. And you have this pattern in the back kind of indicating their kind of ripstop style, even though this is Ultra material. If you're not sure what Ultra material is, definitely look it up. Yeah, it's like more of a lightweight, more of an environmentally friendly material. Though, personally, I don't really care one way or another. I just do like that it's light and that they changed the buckle in this case. So we'll go and compare the two. So let's open this up. It says it has the Ultra there. So let's open this up. Here's the bag itself, and put that off to the side. It does come with this card here. It comes with the outside, which is kind of interesting, but yeah. So 30 days. So they changed it, interesting, because previously I think it was 15, now they changed it back to 30, which, yeah, it's good. I'm glad they decided to make that change back. So Ultra material. So here's a little bit more information about it. You can read it here. So previously with like X-Pack material, they went with the kind of orange on the inside. And so they're going with this lime green, which definitely interesting, different style compared to some other bags I have from like ULA. I have the Dragonfly backpack and that one, they're not using any kind of like green inside. It's just like plain black. So, I do like that they are changing that here just to, stand out a little bit more. And just more information about the material. Really, they're just kind of pumping kind of this material as, hey, this is the next thing, right? So you have this little strap here, kind of keep the bag, keep the strap tight. So we're gonna get rid of that. And so, yeah, here's the material itself. You can see it's kind of like crinkly. Definitely different compared to the normal Day Sling 3. It has Hyperlon at the front here. It has this like rubber material as well. Quite nice. I do like the bag in general. I'll just kind of show you guys right here, just the general shape of it. It's very similar to the normal Day 3 Sling, so nothing crazy in terms of the design changes. So we'll go over that in just a little bit. I kind of want to give you guys more of a tour here real quick. So, so yeah, the front, you got their Aer branded zipper here. So I don't think it is YKK, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what you think. So it has some of their embossed branding here, which is quite nice of an upgrade. You see, this is like this rubber material, so it doesn't really like jiggle as much as the previous models. We'll see, but so far I think that's going to be the case. And then embossed here is their branding. It says Air Design San Francisco since 2014. So it's been about 11 years. So last year they had their 10-year anniversary. So we'll open that up real quick. You can see inside, you can see the material, the Ultra material from the reverse side there. You have a key hook here. The leash is quite long. It's actually pretty long for what most people need, I believe. I've always actually liked this bag and the length of the leash here, but inside, you see that the top does not fold. There's no gap here, so you can't put anything on the top portion. However, you can put a decent amount of stuff here. And yeah, so for me, if you don't like this material, this is, you probably won't get this bag, but for me, I do like this material, do like the look of it too. The crinkly look gives it more of a textured feeling to it. And versus something like the normal Day Sling 3, it doesn't really have that. So I do like that quite a bit. So let's go to the back real quick. The back, you do see has this kind of like flush handbag or grab bag. So that you see on the back, it does have this flush handle here. It's quite nice. I really do like the upgrade. Like I mentioned, the original review I did for this Day Sling 3. Everything else is pretty much the same. There's not a whole lot of changes design-wise. So stitching here, double stitched here on both sides of the strap. You got a hidden zipper, also Hypalon. Actually, no. So you got a zipper here. This is, I'm not sure, it doesn't say YKK, so I'm assuming that this is not a YKK zipper, but it is Aer zipper. So I do like this back. It's wide. It goes almost to the end here of the zipper line here. And then, you get quite a bit of space, similar to here, this side, right, the front side, but it's just on the reverse. And because this material is kind of flat, it's not as thick as the normal Day Sling 3, I feel like you can kind of fit a little bit more and just get a little bit more stretch out of it, so you can kind of fit more things if you wanted to push that. You also have this hook attachment at the top here. Quite nice, I do like it, it's minimal. Stays out of the way for the most part. So top portion, you do have the Hypalon all across. So it's interesting, I saw some comments about this Hypalon material with the Ultra being potential issues in the future. I don't know if that's really the case. I'll have to test it and use it to really know if the Hypalon's gonna like make the material scratch up or like damaged basically over time, which is an interesting comments from what I've seen online. I don't know how that all works. I'm not an expert per se, but it's something that I've read. So just thought I brought that out there. It is more or less, I think, hearsay, unless with some empirical evidence. But we'll open this up. You got your silica gel here. So again, nothing crazy here, right? And the material on the inside, you can see that they basically kind of covered up the Ultra with the just normal material in the inside. And it is not lime green except for the Ultra tag there. I was hoping it would be all lime green. That'd be kind of cool. It's just like this really highlighted thing, and yeah, it'd be kind of crazy, but they just did the normal colors. And yeah, you got your front two pockets here. I love the material that they use here. It's like the soft, kind of not meshy, but it is mesh material. a mesh-like. It's really soft, really like it. Pocket goes pretty deep for each side, or both even. Nothing up here, right? But I do like the fact that this bag really does expand. That's why this is like one of my favorite bags, but it's just that the disappointment with the buckle. So yeah, you also have the two more bigger mesh pockets on the front here. Quite big. They go all the way down to the bottom there. And obviously like all of this stuff is shared space. So you kind of want to be careful what you're putting in here. You want to maximize, you know, what you're going to carry that day. You do have a YKK zipper inside here for the zipper that goes all the way across here. Inside, you do get that lime green, which again, I really wish they just put this everywhere. That would have been sick, I think. Maybe a little bit too much. Maybe that's why they opted to not do it, but I think just go for it, you know? Just make the bag look really cool looking and really out there, really different. But I do like that it's inside, it is this lime green color. Yeah, and you know, quite a lot of space. Again, you know, it basically goes the width of the bag, so that's quite nice. It just depends on, again, you know, what you're gonna put in there, because all this is essentially sharing the same space here. So we're gonna close that up real quick. And backside, you get a little bit more easier access. You wanna just get inside, get in real quick. This is more for like secured stuff that you wanna put in there, so yeah. So we're gonna close this bag back up here real quick and, you know, save the best part for last. I think this is probably the biggest upgrade in my opinion, is that the buckle changed to this type of fit lock. It's a little bit different. I don't remember the part number, but Fitlock does list it on their website, but I love this one, especially I've used this type before on the Coda Bell Cross Pod bag. It uses the same exact buckle. I love this one. It's super sturdy, super secure. Like you see, it does not wiggle at all, any angle, right? And that's the biggest difference, right, between the two, that, you know, neither that basically no matter what you do, you will not get this thing to unlock and unbuckle and just like leave your body, versus this one, you know, there is literally one angle that's completely open that can, you know, get out of your body there. So yeah, that was the biggest thing. I do like this buckle. So how you unlock it, right, is you pull this thing up, you see it moves the buckle towards the other side, and then you pull it out. That's pretty much it, right? You see that has a locking mechanism here. So when you want to lock it back up, when you want to lock it back up, you're going to put the magnets together, they're gonna come together, boom, locks in. Really easy, really simple. You got this little pull tab here, and it's quite nice, right? And it doesn't really get in the way. It doesn't make a whole lot of noise. It's perfect, in my opinion. So with that, yeah, I think that's the biggest upgrade. Now, I'll have to try it on and let you guys know how this feels, because it is on the front side. So when you're wearing the bag on your front side, this is gonna be kind of like against your chest area. And so that's gonna be interesting to see how that feels. The backside is actually a little bit curved, so you see it can be contoured towards your body a little bit. So I think it's gonna be fine. Like there's really nothing that's gonna be touching your body or getting kind of in the way. You don't see any like sharp points that's going to block you from doing that. So similar to here, right? This Fitlock one, you know, similar, right? Very square, rectangular kind of shape. Doesn't get in the way. So I expect kind of the same results there, and you know, with the improvement of more secure carry here. So let's compare the two real quick just to see what the differences are. So basically every time Aer releases new products, they have a chance to, every time Aer releases new products, they have a chance to basically upgrade the design a little bit, and they won't tell you that, of course, but it's more of, you know, a stealth upgrade, if you will. You know, this is different material, but they made some changes that I so far noticed. So let's talk about them real quick. So the first one is, you see, again, the pull tab, both are different. All right, this is definitely an upgrade from the previous one that we were using. I didn't like that at all. It made a lot of jingle noises. This one, you know, just kind of like this rubber coated material. Doesn't make a whole lot of noise, and it's good. I mean, you know, in terms of like stability and pulling ability, like I don't really notice too big a difference, but you know, they both seem to be pulling fine so far. You know, no problems there, right? You use these tabs to kind of pull back and forth, and you're good to go. Now, I do notice the zippers are different. You tell right away. Hopefully the camera can capture them, but they did, I guess, maybe potentially downgrade the zippers. The Day Sling 3s on the left-hand side here, on my left, is the YKK zippers, and then the right are Aer branded ones. So I don't know if Aer is using their own zippers, or are they actually, you know, buying from YKK and just branding them themselves. I'm not sure about that part, but because they're not labeled YKK, you know, I'm gonna just assume that they're using our own zippers. So, you know, a slight downgrade there, I think, in my opinion. I do think YKK does make the best zippers in the industry. So, you know, going away from it, I'm not sure about that. You do notice that the Hypalon width is a little bit thinner here. I don't know if it's being covered from the Ultra material or not. You see the Day Sling 3 on the left-hand side, it's a little bit thicker on this side here. Just slightly, right? You're not gonna really notice it, but me looking up close here, I can tell a little bit that it is a little bit different there. So otherwise, you can tell the design pretty much the same, right? Just those little bit of changes here, just to, you know, change up the design. Maybe they got some feedback from customers and they're like, hey, let's change it up. So yeah, not a huge fan of the downgrade. However, I will say that the shape is a little bit different. So, you know, if you happen to pull on the zipper part of the middle portion here, and rather than using this portion, you know, it's a little bit different of a feel. So the Ultra version doesn't feel as substantial, like it's a little bit smaller. You can see that the zipper is actually kind of like straight on like that. This one, the YKK, kind of like opens up a little bit, more of a cone shape, if you will. So, you know, if you're the type to just pull on the actual zipper rather than the pull tab here, you know, notice that there's gonna be a little bit of difference there, but you know, just something I thought I'd point out. It's not gonna huge difference. It's night and day or anything like that, but it is definitely noticeable. So yeah. Now let's go to the back real quick here. Tell side by side again, very similar, right? Just barring materials. I'm not obviously going to talk about materials because we all know it's literally different materials here. But so on the back here, you can tell pretty much everything's the same kind of material. Now I will say that they did upgrade the handle here. So the handle on the Kadora version, everything's Kadora, even the handle. So the material feel is different, right? If you ever used any other Kadora material, you'll notice that, you know, it kind of has that like, I don't know, textured feel. Feels raw, if you will. There's no like, doesn't feel slick or anything. No, the Ultra does feel more slick. Now, that's what I mean by the handle. The handle, they kind of coated it with some kind of material. I don't know if it's Kadora or not, this material. It looks different. The pattern looks a little different, but it does have this coated material, so it feels nicer, like feels smoother, I should say. But other than that, not much difference. Again, this is using a YKK zipper. The Ultra here does not. So it's using the same Aer zipper that's used on the front. So no changes there for the Ultra. They just continue to use their own zippers. So yeah, not sure how to feel about that. Again, just something to point out. You know, Aer zippers could be good. I just haven't used them long enough to say one way or another. Now, let's go to the top. Notice that right away, top does not have, so you notice the top right away does not have Hypalon on the original. It does on the Ultra. So I think that is a win, in my opinion. You know, you're gonna put Hypalon in the front, but not the top. Just kind of a miss, in my opinion. You know, especially if you're gonna use this in areas where it rains often. And so, you know, I do think that they did listen to feedback and kind of upgraded that. So kudos for them. So similarly, Aer logo, not much difference. It is more reflective on the Ultra version. On the normal version, just flat white color. Zippers, again, YKK, unfortunately. on the original, and then on the Ultra, it is Aer branded. So maybe I'll reach out to Aer, see what they say, if it is YKK or not, but we'll see. And then I'll put the comments, I'll update the video with comments if they do respond. So yeah, again, let's open it up. So you guys already seen the Ultra inside, so I just wanted to show you real quick the original. So you see the original kind of has this like darker gray. I do kind of aesthetically like it more in terms of just the color, but I think in terms of just overall layout and kind of visibility, the Ultra is just gonna win. So it kind of has this grid material all over. It's a lighter color. Hopefully the camera can capture that. It makes things a little bit more visible, just with the lighter color, more contrast. And so, you know, I think that is a nice win there. But otherwise, again, pretty much everything's the same on the inside. Like, they didn't really change anything here internally. So, you know, not much to go over there. So yeah, they did leave the YKK zipper again on the Ultra. So, all right, so yeah, that's kind of my first impressions of the two bags. Again, I haven't had time to actually wear the Ultra yet, but I will in the next week or so, and I'll give you guys more feedback. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below what kind of questions you guys have about the bag so that I can give you some feedback about that as I'm testing it. So, but with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys next time.